All right, man. Interesting article I found was an interview with Ben Johnson about him praising Dan Campbell, and everybody kind of just think Dan Campbell is a rah rah guy and doesn't know football, not smart. Um, and he pretty much changes that perception of he says the perception isn't reality. So um, yeah, let's pretty much talk about that. Let's put it on the screen. Check out Detroit Lions top play. Let's hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, other channels in there as well too. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the whole nine. So yeah, let's get into it. So he says Ben Johnson was never the mastermind behind the Lions offense. Even he knows that. Um, you know, he says he's super intelligent. I learned a ton from him. Johnson said to pardon my take at the NFL Combine. Johnson discussing the Lions going forward on fourth down a lot. He says each week it's his own identity, own entity. Though, and so it wasn't like you went into the season saying, "Hey, every 4th and 2, we always going for it." That was not the case. It just depended on the week and the opponent, how aggressive they were, the weather. There are all kinds of factors that come into play. Okay. Um, he continued to say, and so going into the game, yeah, he was have shared that information with me of a man. Once we hit midfield, if you can make it 4th and 3 or less, then you're going to have the green light. And then over the course of the game, once we hit that range, he would be in my headset telling me, "Hey, you got 4 downs here," which would tell me why you just got to make this 4th and 3 or less, right? And so that allowed me to do as a play caller was we ran the ball a shit ton on 3rd down. There, to make it into a manageable situations. A lot of those runs we end up converting anyways because that's actually the best time to run the ball. So I think that was his whole grand scheme. There's a lot of science behind it. It's just one example there where Johnson was calling plays. It's Campbell who's setting the framework, which for the plays are called. So at the end of the day, the perception is just he's a meat and potato head guy. Like he's just a meathead who don't know football and a rah rah guy, a leader more than uh a football guy. And they get this impression, around the National Football League. They get this impression that if you don't call plays, you're not smart. You're not an X's and O's guy, or you a special teams coach like John Harbaugh. You're not smart. You're not smart. That's the whole perception of the NFL. If you don't call plays, you know what I'm saying, you ain't smart. You see so much more in the play call. That's why we see a lot of offensive coordinator, defensive coordinators fail as head coaches. Josh McDaniels, Romeo Crennel, what's his Dennis Allen, his defensive coordinator in Chicago. They make great coordinators, but that what's my brother name uh down there in Washington. He used to coach um who used to coach USC and used to coach the Commanders. What's the dude's name? Uh, I forget. I mean, he's drawing a blank. Cliff Kingsbury. Just because you're a great play caller don't mean you're a great coach. And a lot of it go into you being a leader, the leader of men. How do you socialize? How do you manage personalities? That's more of a head coach. And I like the terminology they use for it in baseball, a manager. That's really what a coach is. It manages the bus schedule. It manages all the schedule. You manage the personalities. You manage them when players violate, disciplinary, all that before you get to the X's and O's. You managing coordinators, positioning coaches. You managing, a relationship between um, you know, the front office, the manager, you know, you're managing a lot. You're managing a lot. You're managing a lot. You're managing a lot. So yeah, this thing just shows you how meticulous Dan Campbell really is and how involved he really is. So this ain't just, we just going for it on fourth down because we can. No, he's a little bit methodical about it. It's a little premeditated. It's not going on impulse. It's not an impulsive thing or a spontaneous thing. There's things that they're planning. And he said he learned a lot from him, but let people on the outside looking in, Ben Johnson teaching Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson teaching Dan Campbell that, but that's not the case. So, it is what it is, but but I mean, I like the fact, he took some shots at Jared Goff, and that shit was funny to me. But but we here. So yeah, Dan Campbell, you just don't get credit. A lot of people said they was gonna lose based off he was gonna be too aggressive and this, that, and the third, and they was gonna lose off that. And that's not why they lost. They lost because of injuries. It's only so much. It's only so much you only so much you can sustain, so much attrition you can have on a team, especially on one side of the football. Especially on one side of the football. So yeah. So that is what it is, man. And thought it was very interesting to be all quite honest. So it's a good article I came across. So so let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live with our video. Financially, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.